Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this introduction and onboarding webinar. I'm going to get started momentarily. Going to let everybody kind of get caught up here and logged in. We're still seeing a lot of attendees dive in, so I'll give it another minute or two to get everybody situated, and then we'll get started. So thanks for being here. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for this orientation and onboard webinar for the Amazon Future Engineer Curriculum Packs and CoderZ Virtual Robotics Programming Tool. My name is Trevor Pope. I am the Customer Success Manager here at CoderZ. I'm really excited by the turnout of interest in this program. With so many schools across the U.S. transitioning to distance learning programs, it's great to see so many schools interested in participating. I think it's a terrific opportunity for your school, for your students, and for you. A few technicalities before we begin. If you guys have questions, you can add your questions to the questions field located in the GoToWebinar control panel. I'll do my best to answer all of these questions after I get through the session. Here is what I would like to cover today. I want to talk about what is the Amazon Future Engineer Programming and what is CoderZ programming software. We'll describe the available curriculum packs that are offered. We'll show you how to register, how to create classes, and how to enroll students. And then I'll share some teacher resources available to you and where to go for help and support. Let me give you some background on Amazon Future Engineer. Amazon Future Engineer is a comprehensive childhood to career program aimed at increasing access to computer science education for children and young adults from underserved and underrepresented communities. I'm thoroughly impressed with how quickly schools and teachers have developed and implemented a remote learning plan and how well students have adapted and responded to all these changes. Teachers who are participating in this webinar and haven't signed up for this program are invited to visit the Amazon Future Engineer website linked below, www.amazonfutureengineer.com/free.courses for more information to take a look at those courses. So CoderZ, you'll hear the word or see CoderZ quite a bit. CoderZ is an online platform where students learn STEM by coding virtual 3D robots. CoderZ provides an opportunity for more students and teachers to have access to virtual robotics and learn to code solutions. We want to see entire schools engage in a learning to code experience and to reach all students. CoderZ makes learning STEM with robotics accessible, affordable, engaging, and enjoyable for all. So how it works, CoderZ is based in Blockly, a forgiving and easy to learn programming tool with Java as the underlying code. Gamified mission-based learning makes coding virtual robots engaging, competitive, and fun. Students and teachers can go at the appropriate pace based on their experience or skill level. And by removing hardware and robotics from the equation, the opportunity becomes not only less costly, but something more students can do all in parallel. There's no waiting and easier for educators with no worrying about assembly, inventory control, or part breakage, and it's easy to implement into a distance learning program. Students can engage from anywhere they have an internet connection. These are the curriculum packs available to you as part of the Amazon Future Engineer program. The CoderZ Adventure. This introduces students to the basic concepts of programming, commands, delays, repeat loops, and the basics of robotics navigation using mathematics and trigonometry. They'll be measuring lines, they'll be learning angles and angle types, circles, radius, arcs, and parallel lines. These basic concepts, through gamified missions, develop creativity, problem solving, computational thinking, and more. CoderZ Adventure contains 53 individual activities in 7 different packs and is intended for a novice level programmer, and it's great for students in grades 2 through 5. CoderZ Adventure is available in English. Robotics 101. This is a flexible, self-paced learning program for students and for educators to introduce students to the core concepts of code development and robotics. Students will learn mechanics, navigation, sensors, and more while being introduced to programming components like commands, variables, conditional logic, loops, functions, and more using Blockly. Robotics 101 contains 100 individual activities in 15 different packs. It is intended for a beginner level programmer and is a fit for students in grades 5 through 8. Robotics 101 is available in English, Spanish, and in Hebrew. Robotics 102 introduces students to Ruby the Robot and teaches students engineering and technology concepts in a physical virtual environment which simulates authentic situations, cases, and reactions. Working in a unique environment which accurately mimics real-life physics helps students understand things such as what power means, what forces such as gravity are working on the robot, and how they influence the robot movement, why it's not always worth traveling at high speeds, and how to use code to program the robot's actions, and more. Robotics 102 contains 138 individual activities in 14 different packs. It is intended for an intermediate level programmer and is a great fit for students in grades 8 through 12. Robotics 102 is available in English, Spanish, and in Hebrew. And Python Gym. This provides students an opportunity to program Ruby the Robot using Python. In this gym, experienced students with a background in Python programming can work in the CoderZ editor and solve different missions, implementing coding concepts such as variables, loops, data structures, functions, and conditional execution. Python Gym contains 101 individual activities in 14 packs. It is intended for an advanced level programmer who is already familiar with Python and is a great fit for students in grades 9 through 12 enrolled in a text-based programming course. Python Gym is available in English. This is what you and your students will see once they open the Robotics 101 packs. These are the packs available. It's all mission-based learning in a pack format. Each pack consists of several different activities to teach a STEM-based concept, from beginning level to advanced level coding. So I bet you're wondering, how do I register? The right-hand side of this screen is the Amazon Future Engineer registration page. Here you can register for a school account, a class account, that would be a teacher with one teacher registering their class or multiple classes, or an individual student account. A school account allows you to create an organization within your state containing multiple teachers within that organization. You, as the admin, would enter a total number of teachers and the number of student seats you'll be allocating to each one of those teachers. A class account is intended for a teacher. Teachers will register here either to connect to an existing school account or for individual teachers to create an account for their classrooms. This teacher account can create multiple classes, blocks, or periods, and teachers can invite students to these specific classes they have set up via an enrollment link with a custom class code. And student registration, this is intended for an individual account who is interested in the Amazon Future Engineer curriculum, but is not associated with a school or specific teacher. I'm going to show you that registration process here, so let me change my screen real quick. This is can you guys see this? Yes. So this is the actual live website where you can actually go and register. Again, this is a school registration. This is where multiple teachers or one administrator can register their school with multiple teacher accounts. I will click on school and I will enter my name. Elmer Fudd. This needs to be an actual email. I can't speak and type at the same time. This needs to be your actual email. We're going to send an actual registration code to create your password for CoderZ. So make sure you enter your correct email here. Here you'll enter your state, your United States, as well as the state that you're in. I'm going to select New Hampshire, which is where we're located, and the school name, which is my Looney Tunes school. Teacher seats. So this is how many teachers I'm going to invite to the program. Here I'm going to say 100 or 5 teachers, and I'm going to say 50 students per teacher. So that's going to give me a total of 250 student seats to work with. Please share your interest in STEM. School is closed. Give a little description here as to why you're interested in learning more about the program. Checking these boxes here and signing up. This is, again, going to send an email to your email account or the school account, allowing you to register. For any future teachers that want to sign up, this is under this class registration. Here I can select class and enter my teacher info. I can select my country and state here. And again, if I'm signing up for my administrator has already signed up for a school account, once I enter my country and my state here, I will get this school menu here where I can select the school. I should see that Looney Tunes school that I've already created. So you're now going to become a teacher in that particular school or in that organization, and how many student seats you're going to need. And then checking these boxes here will create your teacher account and be part of that school. And then the sign up, again, will send you that email, which will be the activation link to create a password, as well as automatically log you into CoderZ. Once you log into CoderZ, this is the screen that you will see. These are the curriculum packs available to you. There will also be a guided walkthrough there are a series of walkthrough tutorial videos that introduce you to CoderZ. These can be accessed by clicking on the star to the left of your username up here at the top here. See the star icon? This will give you the walkthroughs. One of those is how to create a class. It's this one here. So as I do this, this is going to walk me through that process of actually creating a class for my account, starting by clicking the My Classes. Welcome to the class management page. Here you can set up classes, invite students, as well as track your students' progress as they go through the content or go through the curriculum. I'm going to select next. This is the classes menu. If you do have any classes already set up, they're going to be listed here, but I can hit this flyout arrow and select add a new class to create a new class. Here I'm going to give it a class name. This is kind of what you're probably going to be using in your school. I'm going to call this block 4D. And this is what your students are going to see. So they're going to see your teacher name or Elmer Fudd invited you to class block 4D with the custom class code here. So as I hit next, I'm going to give this a class code or a class description. My 4th period STEM class. And this is the class code. It's a custom class code generated by our servers. It's a 2 random word generator that puts 2 words together. That is the custom class code for that student to invite those students. So if you don't like that code for whatever reason, you can hit these little roll the dice and choose another one that you like a lot less. So we can go with that one. So that'll give you your class coding, and that's the custom class code that you're going to share with your students. Once I hit next and hit next here, this brings me to the course settings page. These are the courses that I'm going to make available to this particular class. Now you can select multiple classes. So just for this 4D period that I've got set up, I can make just a couple of courses available, or I can make all of the courses available. This is going to be up to you, kind of how you want to manage your class. You can set them all up, you can do them individually, or you can kind of customize it and say, okay, this is my 6th graders, so I'm going to start with the CoderZ adventure here. My 7th graders, I'm going to start with Cyber Robotics 101. My 8th graders, I'm going to start with Cyber Robotics 102, or however you want to manage that. We give you options there. I can't see the next button because it's underneath my webinar panel. Here we go. And then you also have a progress type. So this allows you to choose how you want your students to progress through the various packs. All packs open is the default setting. This will unlock all packs for your students, allowing them to freely choose the missions they would like to attempt. So they can go in any order. They don't necessarily have to go in a sequential order here. All the packs will be open. They can take a look and choose the ones they want to go through. Selecting pack by pack. Will unlock packs by completing all of the missions in a previous pack. So the students will need to go through pack number 1 before they can progress into pack number 2, and then all those missions will open in that pack. Set by set is a series of, each pack is essentially divided into sets with 1 to 3 missions in each set. So each set will unlock after students complete the final mission in that previous set. The next set will open that they can progress into. And manual will allow you to manually choose which packs you want your students to go through. So once you choose manual here and select next, here you can choose which packs you want to make available to those students. I'm going to say all packs open here and then say next. So clicking next will bring you to the invite students page. These course settings can also be edited later once you get into your class or your course settings page. So this is, once you get this set up initially, you can go back and edit these and make some changes here. Clicking next provides several options to invite your students into this class. My recommendation would be to copy this URL here with the custom class code. So you can copy this and send this email link, sharing it with your students via any method you're currently communicating with them, whether that's in a Google Classroom, whether that's email, whether that's a Zoom meeting. You can share this link with them, say, click this link. Students will self-enroll or self-register right into your class here. You can also invite students. If you have their email addresses, you can type in their email addresses here, and the CoderZ server will send an invitation through the automated mail system saying, Porky Pig invited you to class 4B, please finish the enrollment process here. So pretty straightforward. And I'm hiding things behind my GoToMeeting control panel here. So as I click next and done, that's again how I can invite students to the class. If I do have more classes to set up, I can go back into this add a new class and complete and do that process for another class. So if you have more classes and more blocks, more periods you want to set up, you can do that again and go through this process, create those other classes. So let me go back to my slides here. There we go. Hoping you guys can see this. Excellent. So after your students create an account, that's going to be a one-time process for students. They only need to go to that registration page the first time or one time. After they do register for their accounts or create their accounts, they are going to go to this play.gocoderz.com website. So that's where they're going to go to log in the future. If they do go back to the registration page, that's the page you see on the right-hand side here, they can hit this green login button, and that will bring them to the play.gocoderz.com site. So make sure they do not try to register again or register for an account. It's going to give them an error saying email is taken. So make sure they are logging in with the credentials they created and not trying to recreate another account with the same credentials. So the next question is, how do I keep my students interested? How do I keep their motivation? It's challenging to teach in a virtual classroom. It's challenging to teach in a real classroom. And here are some suggestions that we thought of to keep students engaged, to keep them motivated, converting their screen time into productive CoderZ time. It's great. We've learned that CoderZ is most successful when you have an engaged teacher, somebody who's active, somebody who's involved and really pushing the students to do to do forward, to move forward. So schedule a Zoom meeting. Share a mission that you solved with your students. Say, hey, did you guys do this one? What's your code look like? Does it look like this? You can do things together as a classroom, solve missions in code with your students together. Again, do that as a Zoom meeting, have them guide you and say, okay, put this block here, write this code for me, and the students kind of tell you what buttons to press, what to click. You can challenge your students to solve as many missions as possible every week. Invite them to share pictures, videos while they're programming. Invite students to present how he or she solved a very challenging mission. You could actually make them a teacher and say, okay, I want you to present your solution as to how you solved this mission. Gives them that, I guess, that in front of the classroom time, or that project type, as well as on the in the CoderZ tabs on the left-hand side where you had the My Classes, there's also a class leaderboard. You can present that and say, hey, this is my class 4D leaderboard. You can see all of the students listed there and who's higher up on the leaderboard than some of the other students. So in a couple of ways to motivate your students and keep them engaged. Everything sounds simple, right? A couple of management things or student management things. Occasionally you're going to get those students who can't log in. Students aren't all tech savvy, don't all have that's innate knowledge as to where to go. So if you do need to access student usernames and passwords, those are all available to you. To see a student username, you're going to click on that My Classes tab. This is the same spot you went to create classes. You're going to see the entire student list there on the left-hand side. And here you'll see student names. So as you hover your mouse over your student name, you're not going to click anything, just hover your mouse over the name. You will see the student username pop up in a little hover window. You can see my mouse is on Fozzie Bear. That username Fozzie has popped up. So you can share their username if they have forgotten that or forget what it is. If students are using a Google single sign-on, it's relatively straightforward to do. They're just hitting the sign in with Google button, but if they did create their own username, you can share with them their username. As well as clicking the student username will show their profile, which is right on the right-hand side. This is the profile for my Swedish Chef account. You can click the settings button or the settings dots. That's the 3 little vertical dots on the upper right-hand side of the student's profile. They'll give you a little pop-up menu here allowing you to reset the student's password. You can also deactivate a student who is no longer participating in your class, or you can move students to a different class period that you've created. Teacher resources. Clicking the Learning Center icon on the upper left-hand side of the screen, that's again where all those 4 packs were located, will bring you back to that My Courses packs or My Courses page. All teacher accounts will have access to a teacher's guide. You can see that that link here. You can see the Cyber Robotics 101 image on the right and the teacher's guide. That's an actual link to a PDF with the teacher guide. This teacher guide is full of useful information such as presentations, pacing guides. There's links to YouTube videos in there. There's knowledge-based articles. CoderZ is intended as a simple system where students can self-educate through a gamified mission-based solution. However, programs are most successful when the supplemental learning, such as these resources, are introduced to the students. Share with them a presentation, share with them a video as to what they're going to learn that day or that week, and then they go in and code. And we found that that's a lot more, having those resources available make it a lot more engaging, and that student retention that's there. This next slide is one of the quick presentations that is included in the CoderZ teacher guide. This short video shows a sample presentation from the Cyber Robotics 101 teacher's guide. It explains the color sensor, it introduces theory of how it works, a sample code that the student can review before attempting the mission pack associated with those color sensors. So again, kind of gives them that background information that they can learn and then actually go into the missions and do the missions associated with them. And we do offer mission solutions. Each CoderZ mission has a solution file that is only available to teacher accounts. To access this solution file, you would click, you open the specific mission you want the solution for. So you'd open that simulation. The name of that mission is going to be at the top center of the screen here. You can see that as the Wait for Color mission. You can click that flyout arrow, that down arrow to the right of the mission name at the top center of the screen, and select Open Solution. Again, this is going to open a sample solution that we have provided for you as a teacher, and kind of go through that code, compare your code or compare that solution code to what you have or what your students have to see which one is more efficient. As well as there's a help widget, a little help icon at the bottom of the screen. Clicking that help widget and typing in a command like wait until ultrasonic will open up our knowledge base articles on that particular subject, and it also shows sample code. So if students do need samples, if they're struggling with something, they can open up that help widget. As well as if you notice here on the left-hand side, there's that little light bulb that's turned on. That's a tips window. So as students open up each one of these missions, there's a little tips light bulb that if they are getting stuck, they can click on that tips, and it guides them through the mission. Each mission does come with a guided walkthrough that the students go through. It's a walkthrough tutorial. Again, we're assuming no knowledge of CoderZ software and no knowledge of Blockly or how to code. So the curriculum or the software guides students through each one of these missions with guided tutorials, guided walkthroughs, tips and tricks for them to get through and make them a better coder. My next slide is our Coppa FERPA policy. CoderZ is in compliance with the Federal Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act, as well as the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, the Coppa and FERPA laws. We do ask, upon registration, we do ask for students to create a username, a password, and we ask for the student's age. If a student puts in an age under 13, we do not collect any personal identifying information from that student. We ask for them to enter their parent's name, their name and email address, and we send the link to the parent saying your student has been invited into this program. Do you want to continue and give them consent, or do you want to deny consent? Either way, it's irrelevant to us. Students can still participate. If a parent has not provided consent, they will be shown as anonymous on all class lists until parent consent is provided. So they can still log in, they can still do codes. Their username is going to be, or their name is going to be anonymous, and their username will be whatever that username is selected. So if you do have more questions, or if you want more information, links to our privacy policy, links to our terms of service, and our FERPA and Coppa policy are all linked here. So if you guys do need more information for your administration, those are all available to you. Support and resources. This side contains links, which are not very helpful in a webinar, with several support channels and resources that we have in place for you. We can share these post-webinar slides post-webinar, make them available to you. Those will all be clickable links that will bring you to getting started articles, your first steps, how to create your accounts and move forward, how to run a simulation, how to write code, as well as a frequently asked questions section, some troubleshooting articles, as well as our YouTube channel that has some mission solution tutorials in there. You can also reach out and submit a support ticket directly from the CoderZ help widget. Again, that's that help widget on the bottom of your screen that's there, and reach out to help that way. So again, here's the registration page link. If you guys do want to register, take part in this, here's the link. It's play.gocoderz.com/LP/Amazon. That again will bring you to that registration page where you can go and create a class account or create a school account or an individual student account, whichever you prefer. I do want to express a sincere thank you to Amazon Future Engineer for their sponsorship, allowing us to offer these virtual robotics and coding courses for free to any student or teacher in the United States affected by school closures. Students and teachers at the elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools are all invited to program their own virtual robots through the CoderZ platform. Thank you all for attending. I appreciate your time and your interest to learn about Amazon Future Engineer and CoderZ. And as we say at the CoderZ headquarters, may the code be with you. I'm going to kind of stop here. I will take your questions that have popped up. So let me take a quick look at those and I will answer those questions. Richard asked the question, can my student use CoderZ on a Chromebook? That answer is absolutely yes. CoderZ is compatible with PC. It is compatible with Chromebooks. It is also compatible with Macs. As long as you're using the Chrome browser, it will not work on Safari or any other browsers. So make sure you are using Chrome on your Chromebook or other devices. Do I have any idea when this will be available in mobile format as well? I would love to have an answer to that question. It's definitely on our R&D team's to-do list, along with a bunch of other things. So it is in the works. I don't have a specific date as to when that will be available. Question is, does Cyber Robotics 102 introduce Python? Cyber Robotics 102 does not introduce Python. The Python gym is the only aspect that introduces Python. Java is the underlying code for Cyber Robotics 101 and 102. There is a little icon up in that simulation window which will actually allow you to see that Java-based code, but it does not teach that either the Java or the Python. Is there a limit to the number of classes a teacher can have? No, there is not. Essentially, you can enroll for as many students as you have in your school, and you can create as many classes for those. So there's no limit to the number of classes that you can create. My class has already used Scratch. Should I start with 102? That is certainly an option for your class to start with 102. We typically recommend you start with Cyber Robotics 101, but if you wanted to dive in with Cyber Robotics 102, you can certainly start there as the beginning point, and then obviously you can go back if you need to go into Cyber Robotics 101. Can a teacher have multiple classes? Yes, a teacher can have multiple classes. You can pretty much set up as many classes as you would have in your regular school, your regular classroom. Does our admin have to register us, or can we activate our own account? No, your admin does not have to register you, as you can certainly sign up for your own accounts. If you wanted to register your school, you certainly can do that. If you wanted to register for a class or an individual teacher account, you can certainly do that as well. Is this correct? We have to register as a school first. No, that is not correct. Essentially anybody at the school can register for the school account. That does not have to be an admin. You do not need to register as a school. You can certainly, even if there's multiple teachers in your school, you can all sign up for those individual class accounts. It's just with a school, they're all linked together. With individual class accounts, they would not be linked together. And if you've already signed up, and if you find that you've run out of student seats or don't have enough student seats, please reach out to our support team. Let us know that the email that you signed up with, and we can find your account and let us know how many student seats you'd like to add. Our team can certainly add those student seats for you if you do need more. Is this linked to Google Classroom? I get a couple of those questions. It is currently not linked to Google Classroom. You would have to kind of copy and paste links to add that to your classroom. Students can sign on using a Google single sign-on or the Google emails, but the curriculum or the packs are not linked to Google Classroom. Will students be prompted to put in their age if they sign in with Google? That is a great question. They will not be prompted for their age. We're assuming, or Google is assuming, that they've put in their age when they've created their Google account. So we take that information from their Google account, and it's not asked for their age. The questions keep coming. Does the Python unit have a teacher guide? We are working on it. The Python unit has a teacher guide in progress. It will be uploaded to there will be a link on that Python gym class page once it does become available. So keep an eye on that. It currently is not available, but it's something we're working on. And that's about it for questions. So again, thanks everybody for being here. I know you guys are all doing remote learning and distance learning plans, so thanks for taking some of your afternoon to spend that with us and here on the CoderZ team. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your being here. If you do have any questions, you can certainly reach out to me. My name and email address here is on this final slide or this final screen, and anybody in our support team will be glad to help you out. Thanks again for being here, and may the code be with you.